everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Empire Legacy. So, I think that we are going to have a good moment together. And today we are going to have a panel. So, we're going to talk about infidelity. And then we need to have the second part of the same activity because today is a special day of couples, of relationship. That's why we are only going to talk about relationship between men and women. But before moving any forward, I will give the floor to Mina and I will come back to you. So Mina,
Hi.
So how are you today?
I'm okay. What about you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to see you.
Me too.
So what do we have?
Salut mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à l'émission Empire Legacy. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler d'un sujet très important qui concerne les fidélités conjugales. Nous allons savoir pourquoi de la majorité des couples il y a ces difficultés. Et après cela, nous allons toujours continuer avec notre même sujet,
Okay.
avec nos différents invités. Alors sans plus tarder, j'aimerais remettre la parole à Fils. The floor is back to you.
Okay, so thank you so much for giving back the floor. So we are going to start with Tarvel. Tarvel, hi.
Yes, hello, Mr. Fils.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you, and you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Nice to see you, bro.
Yeah, nice to see you too. It's a pleasure.
So, yeah, me too. So, we want to know who are you and what are you?
Okay, thank you so much. Just great also everybody over there.
Yeah.
My full name is Exaucé Tarveliala.
Okay.
I am an English and Italian instructor, meaning that I coach and teach English and Italian.
Okay.
And despite that, I am also a student basically in computer science. I'm learning online precisely. And it's a pleasure for me to be over here. I run a center and I also work together with different centers around Brazzaville. For example, like the case of my own center, as I've said, TAKE, but I also work with other centers around where I am also like for the case of Goodlong, for the case of Seuilly and many other places where I work as well.
Okay, that's great. So, we are big. How are you, bro?
Oh, great.
So nice to see you.
Happy
again.
New Year, man. Thank you so much.
Wow. We did not
Great
see each
to-
other since last year.
Yeah, since last year.
So that's great. So, may you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, of course. Sabroso Yam. I think that everybody knows I. So I'm a national English coach from Congo Brazzaville. I try to teach English everywhere, online and physically. So I'm so happy to be back here after 1 year, I may say, because the last show was in December 2022. So now 2023. So I mean that is the new year. So I'm motivated and to satisfy my fans. Thank you so much, Mr. Fils, for this privilege.
Okay, so you're welcome. So on my left we have Madame Suzanne. So, hi.
Good morning. I
How
mean,
are-
good afternoon.
How are you?
Very good.
Nice to see you today.
Thank you.
So now you have a floor. You may introduce yourself.
I'm Suzanne Hale, and I'm in Brazzaville on a fellowship program with the U.S. State Department to help train professors in the university on sort of new student-centered teaching styles, where the students have more responsibility in, particularly in an English class when it's their second language, in using English in class.
Okay.
Not,
So
and also the primary schools, we're beginning a program for next year.
Wow. So that is great. But before going to the panel, okay. So I have like a question. So we want to know a thing, or you have to quote a thing that you heard away when you have guests in your house. What is the thing that you don't want people to see?
I guess dirty dishes. But I'm living on my own here, so it's easy to keep things in order.
you don't want people to say. So Tavel, what is the thing that you don't want people to see when people come over?
Once like people come over
Yeah,
my
came to
place,
visit. Yeah, what is the thing that you don't want your guests to see in your house? What the thing that you hide away from people?
basically, I would say that's disorder, personal disorder, if we can say, because for sure at home, sometimes when we work, we have our specific way to put things. Sometimes you have worked and sometimes you put like some papers around, and you know that paper that I need is over there.
Okay.
And sometimes for another person that could seem as being disorder, but for you it's order because you know that you're working on something. So when I know that I have to visit people, I do my best to arrange things, to put things in order, and I don't like people coming to my place and seeing disorder around. Right?
So, so you just clean your house because you have people coming over.
Basically, yeah.
So when you don't have people, you don't clean.
No, I clean, but it's different. Basically, like when you are alone at home, as I've said, you can be working on something. For example, you're working on something, and sometimes you can say, "Okay, I'm home. Let me go to eat quickly." But if you know that somebody comes to see you, you have an image of. You have to give a good image.
Okay, that's great. So, Big G.
Yeah, of course.
What is the thing that you hate?
Physically talking, I don't. It's like when I have guests home.
Yeah.
I don't allow them to see my bedroom because it's blessed. You know what I'm saying? Because everything spent there, so there is just privilege for me, and I keep it for myself. So for sure, what I try to be sensitive concerning my bedroom. I don't allow anyone to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for me and my wife or my girlfriend. That is why I always say that. Everybody may see everything they want to see, but not my bedroom. It's for me.
Okay, not your bedroom. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. So now we are going straight to the panel, okay? This is a panel. You can make it a debate if you want to, okay? So we are going to talk about unfaithfulness, okay, or infidelity if you want to. So first of all, we want to know the definition of infidelity. So with Big G.
Okay, you may try to define infidelity like a practice for a man or a woman who is married, who belongs to somebody, but they try to have another partner out of the living place is what we call infidelity, unfaithful. Normally when you get married to somebody who's supposed to be faithful, you don't need to go left or right, but try to be focused on your wife or on your husband. But if you try to mix them, it's gonna become an infidelity, and that is not cool at all. So there is bad practice, I do hope.
Okay, that's great.
As a definition,
so Tave, are you sharing the same cigarette?
Apart, but I will define it like on my own way. Basically, I will be saying that infidelity is the fact of not respecting commitment and engagement that you have towards somebody.
Okay.
It might be for the case of those who are married, for example. If you know that you are married with somebody, it means that together, both of you, you have you have engagement that you have to respect, and that respect of that engagement allows you like to be faithful. And as long as you don't respect those engagement, you become unfaithful.
Okay, thank you very much. You say that infidelity, I mean that is an extramarital affair. So, Madame Susan, I have a question for you. Is marital infidelity a good thing in a couple?
Is a good thing for a person to have many partners
in a couple?
I think it depends the culture you grew up in.
Okay.
You know, when I was much younger, it was very common for the fathers, whether you had children or not, to have other women. And maybe it wasn't spoken about, but in my era, it wasn't uncommon at all, particularly when men kind of the change of life around reach 40, it was very common.
Okay, so you come from US. We want to know if that thing is, the government, there's a law that the government allowed that thing to happen in US.
It has nothing to do with the government.
So is that a personal
How
issue?
men behave with their wives or other women has nothing to do with the government.
So people are afraid.
Yes.
You can have maybe 20 or
They
80.
take the freedom.
They take the freedom.
Whereas I can't say the women like it, but when, in my mother's time growing up, it was accepted.
Wow.
So, however, times have changed a lot. Many couples live together before they're married, and maybe they never get married and live together many years, and they're committed to each other. So I think it has a lot to do with who you're with, and is it worth losing what you have to kind of fool around on the side. So that's kind of a personal decision, but it's become very common for many people to live together until they're financially stable to, have a home together and things. So,
wow, that's cool.
But
so
different cultures.
And
I think more Latin cultures is pretty common and it's accepted, and I can't say that the women like it. They
So
might prefer other.
What do you say about this?
But I think that Infidelity is not bad, but the problem is when you actually have a lot of women.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's so if you have your money, you have facilities, so taking care of those women is not at all bad. Because the problem is when you try to have a lot of women, you have to try to take care of them, and you should do some equality. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to give the privilege to the first one or the second one or the third one. But if you want, one try to push pressure on you that you to get 3 women or 4, but you try. It's your fault. It's your thing. So you said that it's okay for me. I mean, I have to have a lot of women, so try to take care of them for sure. That's what I always say. That it's not bad. My dad told me that, son, try to get ready. If you have your money, you are going to have any number of women that you have because it's your money. You're gonna take care of your women, no problem, or your girlfriends. This is what I try to do when I have my possibilities.
So
know what I'm saying?
imagine you have a wife who gives you everything that you need to make you, enjoy, to give you the pleasure. And will you have this in vain to have an extramarital?
So why not? You try to say that she gives me everything. Maybe I'm gonna get somebody who's gonna give me more one that the
More
woman
than
gives
everything.
me. You know what I'm saying? So it's the problem, love. We don't care about that somebody gives you a lot of things or not. The problem is the choice, man. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's what I try to say. You have to touch from left to right to try to mix and cooperate from whom to whom, who is better. You know what I'm saying? The problem choice.
So it's better to find a good one before getting married.
I've got to know that is better or if she's got better or bad. That's a private choice. Love is choice and chance. If you like it to have good one, it's good.
Okay, that's great. So we want to know what are main cause of that. What are main cause, Tavel? What are main cause of that? Why people are doing those things?
Okay, thank you. I will first start on a very important aspect, contrary to the popular belief and contrary to what my friend just aside have said, that normally once you talk about the fact of being faithful, okay, I've talked like in the beginning about engagement, and I think that once even we take the case of culture, it's impossible to love even more than two women at the same level. So why, like for a case of somebody who's married, I don't see the importance of being married, being with somebody and going again outside. But if I can tackle the point that Mr. Fils have just said, something quite important, what are reasons that push men to cheat, or maybe the contrary as well? Because we talk about marital infidelity, and it means that it's in both cases. So what's the main reason? Firstly, I will start here in Africa, meaning that I'm in Congo, and I will take the case of Africa. Firstly, it's the lack of respect due to women towards their husband. This is one of the things which makes men being unfaithful. Because for a man, whether how you might be beautiful, if you don't respect a man, that will push him to go outside. And for women, we have, the fact of taking care of a woman, and something crucial, sex.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. This is
Okay. We have to remind those who get us in the middle of the show that we are talking about infidelity. So we want to know if it's good or bad, or we also want to know what are cause of those things. So this is our panel of today. It's what we are talking about today. So we are going to continue on the same topic, but now we're going to give the floor to Madame Suzanne. Okay, we're still having the same question. What are main cause of this thing? What are main cause? Why people are doing this?
Well, I could probably even say in my father's case, because I can't speak for myself, but opportunity. He had many secretaries that were younger, so he got together with them. And he was,
So
he had another life with partners. So I grew up in an area where women weren't quite as valued, particularly when you were married.
Okay.
Whereas times have changed a lot, since then. So, and some people choose to live together, maybe for a while before they're married, or maybe because they're students and they're still studying, and it's that's the case. So, but yeah, I think and I've been in areas where there are a lot of Latin Americans, particularly in America on the East and West Coast, and for many men, it's just expected. You know,
Okay.
maybe you just have a one night here, one night there,
Okay,
and
it's normal.
the women don't like it, and hopefully the women doesn't find out, and that's
Wow.
kind of is having another life somewhere else that
Okay.
nobody
Never
knows
seen.
about.
I have my question is, Vijay, and how can you act if your partner is teaching on you sorry?
Yeah, when you have your girl and your wife, she's teaching
That you
on
respect, you give everything, you are very and giver and lover, but you realize one day
I mean, she's teaching.
But you know the problem of love of women and men. There is two things totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if a man I am that I don't care, I don't take care of the woman or my girlfriend. She does not love to cheat me. You know what I'm saying? She's a woman. She's a girl. She's humanly dependent on us.
So she has to accept everything. This is what you mean.
Of course, man. Of course.
But she has a heart as well.
Of course,
She
we
has
don't
a
want
heart,
that.
and she has feelings like you have.
No, you may have got feeling, but you know it's so shameful for a woman to cheat.
And what about the
So,
man?
what,
No, the
what-
man is free to cheat.
no, what will be your reaction when you see that thing happen?
But I will
in
not.
your
I will
house?
not sleep on it. I will not think. The problem, what I'm gonna say is take your motherfucking bags, get out.
Take
of
your,
my
your
living
clothes
place. That's
and your
all.
things. You have to
Yeah,
go back.
because I can't understand that my girlfriend sleeps with somebody else. It's a bullshit. I accept it. We get married to another one.
Okay, Tarvin,
Is he going to marry me?
are you sharing the same?
Completely disagree on that aspect because I do believe that if we have to take the example, if they say that women have to be faithful, it means that men have to be faithful too, because a woman doesn't have a stone at the place of the heart. She has a heart, she has feelings, she has everything that a man has, despite like some gentle aspects, but we are the same, and it means that if we are the same, it's important to know that she has a heart and she also has feeling. And once it happens, for example, the main problem is not to see that, okay, she has been unfaithful. The biggest question is to know why she has been unfaithful and trying to resolve, because we have to know that once we get married, this is something, even though it's not really respected, but normally once we get married, it's for life. Marriage is not, I mean, like in Nintendo, where you can go there and after you get out, you can as you want. No, it's something real. When you get there, it's a one-way road. You get
So,
there.
I mean, you say that. I mean, she's going out. You have to know why she's going out.
Yeah,
okay.
it
You have to
might
know.
be.
So if you are the problem of that issue, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, this is what I've said. For example, I will be really down earth, giving like clear examples. If, for example, this, I don't hope it to happen to me. I'm just taking an example. If, for example, it happens that you discover, or I discover, for example, my wife cheating on me, for example. The biggest problem that I will know, that I will do my best to know, will be first the reason. It's true that many people on that way will take a radical decision, meaning that, okay, she has to go, like him, he has just said.
I can't think of it, guy.
I will not do that. I will first try to think about the reason that pushed her to do that. If I am the reason, I'm going to do my best to resolve the problem. It's true that it won't be easy, but I will do my best to resolve the problem.
It doesn't make sense,
But
for sure.
if I notice that I am not the reason and she did that for pleasure, I know that once we are married, it's for one way.
So if I tell you to call two things that can push a woman to get out of the house, what are you going to say?
Fist, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me try and say what he said then. He said that, you know, if you're gonna check to know what the motivation which pushed the girl to get out, you know, for sure it doesn't make sense. You know, we try to talk about polygamy. When we're talking about polygamy, who is allowed to do it, a man or a woman?
I remember you. I just tried.
We're talking about man, for sure. Be a human. Try to be yourself. We're talking about polygamy. Does a woman can go to get married to the mayorship with two different men? No,
May I say something on
but
that?
the man is allowed.
Yeah.
A man is allowed to do it.
No, I just want to insist on something.
Okay.
You said that there is polygamy, the fact that a man can go and take several wives.
Yeah.
Okay? There is also polyandry. okay, which allows also a woman to go and take several husbands.
It is
It's not.
practicing in you.
No,
anyone?
In this case,
something
in this case, you live in a couple, but you go outside to have another relationship in secret.
in secret, meaning that this
So-
is not polygamy.
So
This is unfaithfulness.
we want you to call two things that can push somebody to
Yeah.
get out of the house. We are going to start there. Only two things that can push somebody to go out of the house. What is the two?
Something's missing.
Something like
Or they're
what?
being neglected. Or, people change over time, and I think being any long relationship takes effort.
Oh, okay.
And is it worth losing what you have to just do something on the side? Don't think you may be able to come back and everything will just be back it used to be. But yeah, and I think over time, many cultures have changed, but there, some cultures, women, are subservient beings. I was raised to be that way. It's like the puzzle pieces, I'm in the little cracks. You just have to fit in wherever. The man is the dominant one and you accept that.
Wow.
Okay.
It
So-
didn't help the relationships I have because I was raised that way. So I was with very selfish men.
Okay.
It didn't work out,
I mean,
So you have to
and
call
I
two
raised
things.
the children by
Yeah.
myself.
Yep.
So,
Call two things.
okay, I will even try to combine the two first.
Yeah.
What are reasons that can push a woman to go?
Call two things.
Yeah. And I will try to make it as quicker.
Okay.
The very first thing is attention.
Attention.
Wives or women in general, okay, they like attention, meaning that they like when they are with a man, you compliment her, you tell her,
Yeah,
that, okay,
attention,
today
attention.
you beautiful.
The second thing?
And everything. The second thing, it's about sexual and satisfaction.
Wow. You
It's
have to be
my-
there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Big Deal.
Yeah, for sure. For men, something which push or
Two things,
two
yeah.
things which push men to get out of the wives. I think that the first one is lack of capacity in bed. Is the main problem.
It's a main
talking, yeah. Because if you're not satisfied, if your wife it does not doing her best to satisfy you, I don't think that you're gonna try to take another one so that you may compare. Maybe you try to enjoy. So did the first one, and the second one is the behavior. You have to know how your wife behaves towards you. Know what I'm saying? The main
Okay,
problem.
okay.
We're talking about respect.
Okay. Thank you
Does
so
he
much.
respect you
Okay,
or not?
thank you so much.
Yeah.
So as we know the problem, so now we need a solution.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we need a solution of those things. So what can you say, or what is the piece of advice that you can give to people who have many partners? A piece. What is the
I
message?
can't speak to that.
You.
Not at all.
Try to say
grew up in
something.
a
Try to say
different
Try to say
something.
something.
Try to say something. You can't get out like that. People say something. It's not cool.
for example, you have just said that where you have been growing
Yeah.
up,
Right.
that was
So
natural. Man was dominant.
Right.
But do you?
But as a child, I didn't know a lot
So
of these things. I learned when I was older.
If we want you to say something about
Yeah.
that issue, what are you going to
It's
say?
not something I would choose if I was in a relationship.
Okay. So
For me.
Tavred, what are you going to say?
Okay, the piece of advice that I can say towards men, okay, about this problem, I will just say that the best solution is to take care of your partner, to have attention towards her, to know why once even she doesn't say anything, you try to get closer to her to know exactly why she's sad, why she's behaving in a certain way. This is for the case of women, because most of the time it's because of lack of attention. When you don't compliment your wife, somebody else will do that, and the fact of listening that all of the time, she will be thinking on somebody else despite you. And for men, one of the things that makes men going out most of the time is I will just quote two of them. The first one is respect. I've said it in the beginning. When you don't respect a man, even if you Miss Universe, even if you let's say the most beautiful woman in the world, if you don't respect a man, that pushes him to go out.
Okay, Mr.
Basically.
Big Deal.
Yeah,
Very
for
true.
sure. What I'm gonna say to the men like us who practice that practice, you know, when you try to have another girlfriend or another woman, you don't need to change your attitude toward your former wife. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep your attitude, and you don't need to let her know that you get another one. Know what I'm saying? So that you may not hurt, know what I'm saying? Because a human as us, we have the same feeling in someone,
Okay.
and we have a heart. So we have a woman don't need to change the attitude. Try to behave like usually, so that you may try to put on the doubt that
Okay,
the treatment
so
around you.
thank you so much for everything that you did today. Okay, so we are running out of time. Okay, we are going to give you
The last
30
word.
seconds for the last word. So we start with Mr. Big J. You have your 30 seconds. It's going to be a phrase.
I'm speaking French for the last one.
Yeah, you see your camera. You have only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We are running out of
Great
time.
job. Ok, ce que je veux dire pour comme conseil, les hommes, vous pouvez tricher et surtout n'oubliez pas aujourd'hui c'est Sainte-Volonté. Partez donner des cadeaux, donner le parfum, le même parfum que tu as donné sur la
Thank
femme
you.
de la maison.
Thank you.
C'est le même parfum que tu dois donner sur ta partenaire.
Thank you so
Et,
much. Thank you so much.
merci.
You have the last word. Let's go.
Okay, thank
30
you so
seconds.
much.
30 seconds.
Hey guys, what I will say about what I've just said for my last word is like love your partner, love each other. Take time to learn from your mistakes. If you have like failed, try
Okay.
to learn from your mistakes
Thank you.
and try to love each other as
Thank you.
it's supposed.
So, Madam, you have the last word for the show. We are
I guess
running out of
it's
time.
being in a relationship where there's trust. And probably that's the most important part.
Most important.
If there's trust,
Okay, that's great.
you know,
So,
and people aren't perfect and people are going to change over time. So you kind of learn to grow together and
okay,
know,
thank you so much.
things like that.
Empire Legacy want to thank all of you for being here today. Okay, that means a lot to see you on the platform. It means a lot. I know that you are always busy, but when you have time for others, it's also important. So your presence means a lot to us. Thank you so much. So we are at the end of the show, as we used to say that this platform is for everybody. So if you're going to take part, feel free to join us. So now we are at the end, as I said before. Today we talk about, we spoke about infidelity. That was our panel of today. So we are going to make next Tuesday at the same time, same channel, and same Empire Legacy. So keep safe. You know I love you all. So Mina, do you have a last word to say?
Yes, I have a last
Okay,
word.
so the floor is yours.
Yeah. Mesdames et messieurs, merci de nous avoir suivis. Aujourd'hui, nous avons débattu un sujet très important qui concernait l'infidélité dans le couple. Et j'aimerais remercier nos invités sur ce plateau et toutes les personnes qui nous ont suivis à la maison. Merci beaucoup pour votre présence, Madame Suzanne, Bidi, merci beaucoup. Et n'oubliez pas de suivre notre programme tous les mardis à partir de 15h20. Et je vous aime beaucoup. Merci. Take care.
Bye.